We're live, y'all, just so you know. That's what Sarah said.
Okay.
Hello and welcome, people.
Hello.
All right. Should we just jump right on in?
Yeah, let's light this candle.
Let's go, guys.
All right.
Oh, we're lighting candles?
I mean, Amy already did. She's a couple steps ahead of us.
She's got it handy. I love it.
We said no banter as I've started
As we do banter.
We can't not banter. Let's just keep it to a minimum.
Oh, God. All right. So, everyone, this is a live podcast recording. So, we're just going to jump right in and just start. And Lizzie is lighting multiple candles. Okay.
Set this place aflame.
Hello and welcome to this special episode of SpeakBeasty live from RoberCon for September 27th, 2020. Yay. So,
Yay!
since we've got some new people listening, I'm assuming, during RoberCon, let's all introduce ourselves. I'll go first. I'm Amy. I'm a Hufflepuff and a Thunderbird, and I am from Binghamton, New York. So I am the hometown girl.
And I'm Rex. I'm from Chicago, Illinois, and I'm a Hufflepuff Thunderbird.
I'm Marjolaine. I'm from Marseille in France, and I'm a Ravenclaw Thunderbird, and my favorite beasts are mooncalves.
I'm Anne. I am also from Chicago. I am aggressively a Slytherin, as you can see from the headband, / Thunderbird, and my favorite beasts are Thestrals because they're the best trolls.
Ooh, I don't know how I'm supposed to top that. I'm Julianna. I am from Cape Cod in Massachusetts, and I am a Hufflepuff. I think I'm a Thunderbird from what I remember, and my favorite character is the Demiguise. I love McDougal. He's so cute.
And I am Lizzie. I am from Long Island, New York. It's 45 minutes outside of Manhattan. For anybody who doesn't know, it's the weird fish at the end of the map. I am a Ravenclaw, also from the headband. And I am not a Thunderbird. I'm a Pukwudgie. And my favorite beasts are the mooncalves, just because they have really cute big eyes. And I like the face they make when they try to eat air.
Cute.
And so now we're going to go straight into the Phoenix Register because we have so much to talk about, which doesn't seem possible somehow, but we do. So we're really excited. And we're just going to kick it off because filming has actually started / resumed, considering the state of the world.
Finally!
You know, MuggleNet broke news that filming for Fantastic Beasts 3 is indeed underway at Leavesden Studios. According to sources, photos were posted on Twitter, and there is a backlot set depicting Berlin, Germany. We know Jude Law and Eddie Redmayne have been to set, and at this moment in time, the release date is still set at November 12th, 2021, which I find very impressive personally. And according to Twitter user at Hallie Potter, HALLIE, the studio tour has also changed the backdrop behind the Fantastic Beasts costumes and is now a giant picture of Hogwarts. Now everybody say, ooh.
So what we kind of wanted to do, because that is so much more information than we've had in years at this point, we wanted to kind of dedicate this live episode to discussing filming starting and sort of theorizing a bit about what this means for the plot of Fantastic Beasts 3. So just heading right into the main discussion off of that, just kind of talking about the pictures that we got on Twitter of that backlot. Like Lizzie said, it is reportedly the Berlin set, which we previously knew we were going to Brazil and specifically Rio in this film. So Berlin is interesting.
Nothing makes sense. It's fine.
It's the Fantastic Beasts series. Nothing.
Actually, we
There's
had
no
a mention.
sense.
We have a very early mention of Berlin. I remember, I think it was Strat Craig who mentioned just before Crimes of Grindelwald came out that he will work probably in the third film on a Berlin-based Ministry of Magic.
Huh.
So, and that was the only mention that we got, and it was so in 2018. So, yeah,
Yeah, I'm just not sure where the Berlin Ministry of Magic fits in from the storyline that we have going already. But again, this is Fantastic Beasts. What is life? What makes sense? I don't know.
Nurmengard is based in Germany, isn't it? So I guess it would make
It's
sense that the German
Switzerland, no?
ministry would be keeping tabs.
Yeah.
Maybe. Possibly.
It might be. Hang on. Let's Google it.
Maybe they know the crimes that Grindelwald committed because we don't know these
maybe.
crimes.
Yeah, I mean, I think it makes sense that we would be going to Germany just because of Grindelwald.
Well, isn't the last film supposed to take place in Germany?
Yes.
We don't know.
Probably.
We
You would
just
have
know
to
that
you would have to check that tweet with the 5 different languages.
With the 5
Right.
languages.
Yeah.
that's
Which one was German and one was Portuguese.
Portuguese.
So,
Well, they speak Portuguese in Brazil. That's why we're going to Brazil.
right.
So then there's, I think it's Italian and German from the tweet, but I could be very wrong.
No, I think you're right, Rex.
Which
I mean,
Italy
would make sense considering we know that World War II is looming. You know, thankfully we're not going to see World War II because I would be way too stressed about if Jacob would get drafted. So I'm very glad we don't have to worry about that at all. But it makes sense that we would see like little pops here and then. And I know you mentioned that J.K. Rowling had said in the JKR had, mentioned Rio specifically. And then Dan Fogler is notorious for saying things he probably shouldn't. And he had told people in 2019, like, we're going to Brazil. And everybody was like, King of Brazil, Dan Fogler.
Yeah, and it's Brazil. It seems like okay. Oh, thank you, Ev. She just posted the numbers in the chat.
And German's the third one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
So third
interesting.
film, third language.
Makes sense. Then.
Huh.
Well, before
Okay.
this, the only information we had about Brazil was that Bill Weasley's pen pal had sent him a hat that made his ear shrivel up.
Yeah, which
So
really makes me
Anna-
question like the security at Castle Brushu that they're just like, no, it's fine.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Lizzie.
No, you go.
So do we think the main action will be in Brazil since that seems to be what everybody's talking about? Or are things going to be split between Germany, England, and Brazil? Is the whole Brazil thing a fake out? Like, how are we feeling?
I've always wondered why they were going to Brazil because everything else is centered around Europe besides the United States. And it just seems so far out of the way that why would Grindelwald or someone decide to go there besides Newt to just collect his beasts?
Yeah, I mean, I found the only thing I could really find was that bowtruckles originate from Germany in the Black
Same.
Forest. So if Pickett is starting to play a larger role in the film series, like that could be something. Again, this is me hoping that the beasts are important to the Fantastic Beasts series.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. It is strange because it does seem like Berlin is the more logical setting.
Mhm.
So I do wonder if it is going to be mostly Berlin and England, and then maybe there's some sort of detour to Brazil for something that they need to get or something, or someone they need to talk to.
Because there is magical, like, fauna and, like, plants.
Mhm.
So Newt Dumbledore probably will need something, and he'll just send Newt because that's what Dumbledore does. I need to get this, but who can get this for me because I don't do things.
I don't
I'm
do fetch
busy.
quests.
Yeah, and I was thinking about that. The problem we have with this news is that it's been 2 years since we didn't had any new information, and the last time that we got this Brazilian storyline, it was before the script got largely rewritten with Steve Clovis, we guess. So maybe it was Rowling who planned this Brazil storyline, and maybe they changed the plan since Clovis joined the writing process. And we know also that they will definitely put Hogwarts a bit more in movie 3, at least at least we gathered this thing too. And if they had to choose between Brazil and Hogwarts, I guess they will choose Hogwarts. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They also already have the sets for Hogwarts, whereas Brazil, they'd have to
Make new
build.
sets or try and film on location, both of
Right.
which would be right now
Hard.
unwise and expensive.
Yes.
So that's what I
And
was kind of.
Hogwarts is just nostalgia for the entire fandom.
Easy
when I was-
money.
Yeah, exactly.
I was kind of thinking along the lines of what Anne was saying about how it's not like a good idea right now. I wonder if the script that they wrote and how the movie's going to play out has been affected by COVID, because I have a friend who's in Brazil who lives specifically in Rio, and it's bad. It's like real bad down there in Rio. It's pretty similar to the United States at this point. So I just wonder if the safety of the cast and the crew kind of got thrown into the mix because COVID got thrown into the mix, and maybe some of the time that would have been eaten up by the Rio story is now being taken up by the Berlin story.
This is true. I have a friend whose mom was stuck in Brazil, like from February. She got back mid-July.
It's
She like
it's
just was
very
straight up
bad
stuck.
down there.
But I think even
Brazil
without,
is not like, if they film on location, they would have to build sets in Brazil because it
Right.
doesn't look.
That's
like
true. It doesn't look like it did back in the
1940s.
20s or 30s.
Yeah,
It's a lot easier to just make fake Brazil in
Right.
Leavesden and just.
And it's probably safer
and
anyway.
that was what they did with Paris. They didn't film in location for Paris, and it was pre-COVID, and it was far less far away. So if they don't film in location in Paris, I don't see why they would film in location in Brazil. So yeah.
Like, unless they were going to use like Sugarloaf or some prominent Brazilian landmark, I could see that, but I don't see that happening, especially right now with just world events.
Yeah, and I mean, when they used this, like landmarks in Paris, they were usually just establishing shots. It's not like Newt had to chase Dougal up the side of the Eiffel Tower or something.
Well, why did we?
I don't know. That's a darn good question.
That would have made the movie a lot better.
Release the deleted scenes.
Extended edition is literally just
Newt
running around the Eiffel Tower.
chasing. Now he's chasing the Niffler. Now he's chasing the Motorcycle.
I wouldn't be upset.
Well, speaking of Beast, I'm kind of hoping if we get more of the Rio story and the Rio showcasing, that we get to see the rainforest and get to see all of the different and like vast and crazy creatures that live in the Brazilian magical wizard rainforest. Because I already know that there's a crap ton of like non-wizard species that are only specific to the rainforest. So I can only imagine how many wizard species of beasts that aren't in Newt's book quite yet that we could get to see if these beasts are actually featured in the movies, which is also debatable.
And it would be good to get out of cities for once, because in the first two movie we had only this type of very urban set. So yeah, it would be cool to have Newt in the wild.
Yeah, and like around this time, like the Gentleman Adventurer was a very big thing in the popular conscience. So that would be a cool thing to see Newt tackle as well.
Well, and I was like, the only issue with that is Rio's not geographically close to the Amazon rainforest. It's a little like south of Brazil, and the Amazon rainforest's northern.
They can
Yeah, but you can apparate.
It would just, they do have magic, but like just, it's not a hop, skip, and a jump away. Like they would physically have to apparate or take a port key or.
It's a poof away.
It's a hop, skip,
Goodbye.
and away for the Zawu.
Well,
That's
I think
true.
it's just like a step for the Zoe because can't just how I don't remember. They just move fast and far,
Like
and
half
like a
step.
jump.
Oh, look in my book. I have it in front of me. I'm not sure.
So kind of thinking about beasts, do we think that Fox will play a role in this film at all? Do we think we're going to get more of that background?
Look,
Lizzie has feelings.
I'm just gonna say it. We might have already seen Fox. I know it's a hot take and it's a big topic, but you don't know. We could have already seen the beginning of him.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Crazy exciting.
I don't believe
Rex?
that's Fox.
Nope.
Just throwing it out there.
Well, phoenixes are super rare, so why would we suddenly have 2 phoenixes? Like, if they're introducing
Magic.
a phoenix, it's probably Fox.
It's an illusion.
I was yeah.
The only
Grindelwald's a big old liar. Like I'm sure he's not above casting a phoenix look spell
But
on
also,
some
it's
sparrow.
a baby bird right now. So
Yeah, it's a baby.
It's like a fun bird, like a parrot or a macaw or like a flamingo.
Ooh, a flamingo, a magical flamingo.
So not to jump other fandoms here, but Iago in Aladdin was a very small bird, and he did plenty.
This is true.
Maybe it is
see.
Iago.
I see. So Credence's bird is a macaw, and Grindelwald's like, this is a portent. We must go to Brazil.
Ah!
See?
It all makes sense.
That's
And
really good.
then instead of us watching Fantastic Beasts 3, they just start playing the DreamWorks animation film Rio.
Ah, yes, the classic animated film Rio.
Yes.
I mean, that makes the most sense out of half the fan theories I've heard thus far, so I'm here for it. It sounds good to me. I'm on board.
Speaking of wild fan theories, I saw somewhere that there is we don't know about the phoenix that we saw, if it's Fox or not, but
It's not.
I saw somewhere that Credence Aurelius will maybe be saved by becoming Fox. I don't know how. I don't know how it could make sense, but I like the symbolic of this poor, sad little boy transforming into this symbol of hope. That would be a nice end for him, because I don't see him surviving. So maybe if he becomes Fox, that would be.
Well, if he is a Dumbledore, it would explain why he
he's not.
stays so. Hey, there are episodes for this.
How do you
No,
become
it
a
would just
phoenix,
it would
though?
make sense in a way of like how like close Fox is and loyal he is to Albus. You know what I mean? Like if they were brothers. I mean, are we really
What is
gonna
the
start
magic?
Are we really gonna start saying that Albus has a brother that's a bird? I don't know, but
I mean,
we're-
that's the case.
Well,
then that's
the only
two.
brother he has is Aberforth.
I think
I
we should
really
have a
like
brother who's a
goats.
goat.
So if
Jinx again.
Aberforth likes goats, then maybe Albus likes birds.
But I was gonna say, like, if that is the theory that we're going with, which that's 2 iconic characters in the Harry Potter series who are secretly people trapped as animals. Oh no! And then it gets real weird.
yeah.
Well, and then you have the whole cursed child augury thing. Which is too
Yeah.
similar to this. I
don't know her.
Who is she?
I don't know her.
How do you go from an obscurus to a bird? That's kind
I
of.
don't know.
I'm like
augury.
this guy is exploding with magic, so he just explodes to the point where he turns into a bird. It's like
Maybe that's how
boom,
baby phoenixes
bird.
get made.
He's the real cursed child.
Oh, actually, it looks sorry, guys. It looks
I mean,
like
I'm
we have a
behind that.
question from Ev. How likely is it that WB decided to turn away from JKR's original plan for the film and will turn it into what is originally meant to be Newt Safari with beasts?
I
Highly
would love that
unlikely.
because that's what I thought. the
Extremely
first movie was
unlikely,
gonna
but I
be.
want it.
I feel like that's the movie we all kind of wanted.
I don't.
From everything I've been reading, though, it sounds like this film's actually going the opposite and concentrating less on Newt and more on Dumbledore and Grindelwald.
I feel like we saw that coming.
Yeah.
I feel like
know
all of us saw that coming.
There was a Variety article that said Part 3 is expected to put more of a spotlight on Jude Law's young Albus Dumbledore and set more action at Hogwarts.
Fantastic Beasts and Dumbledore's purpose.
Yeah, which, I mean, I
You
saw
heard
that
it here
coming.
The
Why
purpose
can't
of
we just
Albus
have
Dumbledore.
Why can't we just have a series for Albus Dumbledore? Because, like, he's my favorite character. Don't get me wrong. I freaking love Albus Dumbledore. But why can't we just have, like, the life and lives of Albus Dumbledore as a movie? Like, why is that not a thing? And then we can have this as Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, and it can be about beasts and where to find them. And then the other movie can be about Albus Dumbledore and how he lies and cheats a lot. And it's great. Just my hot take.
There are all those rumors going around that they're trying to do an HBO series about.
Oh yeah, and there's one for Dumbledore, one for Grindelwald. Maybe Theseus is gonna get one.
Every time
I am here for this Theseus content.
I mean, same. I would actually subscribe to HBO Max for that.
I know, I would need to get that.
I would love a Dumbledore series, but with every new article that comes out insinuating a different character is getting its own series, it all just loses so much credibility. I don't think any of it's happening.
It's also tiring. Like, I'm tired.
Like,
if anything gets a TV series, it would be the Harry Potter books.
Yeah.
I think we can be sure that HBO is planning some Wizarding World series, but that's why we have so many articles speculating about, but it's this kind of series, this kind of TV show. But they just know that they are planning something, but we can't. I think it's too
well,
early.
You know what? I think we should go into this question about these different schools, because if we are so unsure of if we're going to be in Brazil or Germany, like everything is up for grabs here. Everything's a topic, and I can't pronounce one of these names, so I need one of y'all to help me out here.
I can't help you.
It's Castilla Bruxu, right?
Is that it?
Castilla Bruxu.
Hang on, I'm going to look on the Pottermore's website has a specific pronunciation. Keep talking while I'm Googling.
Right, so there's thought that Ilvermorny is supposed to be more featured because we're supposed to see more Eulalie Hicks. You know, she's a teacher at Ilvermorny. We actually have no idea what she teaches at this point, right, guys? Do we know? Am I wrong?
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's just, well, it might say something in that book.
Yeah.
That's Jessica Williams. I know that. And she's funny. As Jessica Williams.
We love her.
And it is listed on her IMDb that she is in Fantastic Beasts 3.
The Harry Potter wiki says she teaches charms. I'm checking to see where we know that from.
Well, that doesn't play to my headcanon.
I'm sorry that your Eulalie Hicks' Transfiguration Professor fanfiction has been ruined, Lizzie. It'll have to be an AU.
I mean, I was just curious if, like, she was a Care of Magical Creatures teacher.
Oh, that would be cute.
That would make more sense.
It would be a nice tie.
And more beasts.
I don't think they would do that, though.
What, because it's too clever? Sorry.
No,
it makes too much sense.
She's gonna be some, like, transfiguration charms, potions.
We already have one of those.
You know what? But we don't have one from the United States.
Yeah, I know. We should just be happy we're getting a woman in general.
Yeah, and a person of color, too.
It also sort of has to make sense with why is she playing a role in the book, and which is, I know people have theorized it's sort of like the original Order of the Phoenix, but like pre-Order of the Phoenix. So like, what can she bring to the fight? Basically.
Okay, I'm holding it up to the camera. I don't know if you can see. It's Castello Bruxu.
That's what
Bruxu.
Okay.
I said that.
So you did say that, Rex. You did. Don't worry, we're here. We validate you.
Well, regardless of how we pronounce it, according to Pottermore, there is a very popular exchange program for European students who wish to study the magical flora and fauna of South America, which seems like a pretty easy cover for Newt. If he needs to go to Brazil, he could be a guest magizoology lecturer or like something like that.
I thought you were going to say a student. I was like, he's a little bit old for that.
Or a student. He can show up with a skateboard over his shoulders and go, "Hello, fellow kids. It is I, Newt Scamander."
Just for
certified young person.
recap, this school is the Germany school?
It's the Brazilian school. The German school.
Oh, okay.
I don't think there is
a specific German school, is there?
Okay. All right.
Because you have Hogwarts, Beauxbatons, and Durmstrang, which is just kind of like the rest of Europe, I guess.
Well, isn't Durmstrang, we know it's somewhere in the north, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like in the Baltic or like Scandinavia.
Yeah. Grindelwald definitely went to Durmstrang, so I don't know if he is German, but if he's German, I guess, some Germans go to to this school. But yeah.
I feel like we just need a listing of all the schools in the whole entirety of the world, but that would probably be way too much to ask, and we should probably just write it ourselves because we're never going to get it.
I thought we did have
we
that.
have
we have
some.
the
I
list
mean,
of
we
11.
do.
But
A
those
full
are the 11
listing?
biggest schools
But
in
she
the
could have
whole
also
world.
just changed her mind and added
No, I want a
more.
full listing. I want a comprehensive listing. I don't want just 11 schools. That can't house all the wizards in the entirety of the world. I do not believe that. Thank you very much.
I prefer that the world is still open, that they can add
Right.
school they need because and they can expand the universe as they need it. So
We
always
have
want-
some schools. That's fine. But
Education's important.
it is. But considering everything, do we think we're going to even hear about the Aurelius Dumbledore of it all in this film? Or are we just going to, like, toss that aside? Because I could almost see it, like, coming back, like, briefly being mentioned and then not popping up again until, like, I don't know,
FB5?
second act of 4.
I
You know
don't
what I
think
mean?
we're getting answers in this.
No,
film.
I don't think
this
we
is
are
either.
another. I
But,
feel
like, even just, like, a smidget, a little
The beginning's going to
little
be
snack.
Credence being like, huh? Then it's going to go to, like, Newt doing Newt things in some place that's not where Credence is.
Yeah, I feel like
But we already
2
had
and 3. Oops, sorry, Marjo. Go ahead.
I was just thinking that we already had Aurelius or Credence reaction. He just blew up a mountain as a reaction of being a Dumbledore. So I think that's a valid reaction. But yeah,
But we also need to time jump in this movie because it's
Right.
like,
Yeah.
we're in the 20s?
1928.
And
this one, I think,
it
is
ends
in
in
the
45, which is I think 18, not 18, it's 17 years.
Yeah, we need to do some big time jumps throughout these
That's
next
why
3
they're
movies.
not traveling to Brazil magically.
They're walking! And it just says
They're
3
just
years
gonna
later.
get on
It's gonna be
a
like
road.
Lord of the Rings, just like all these walking scenes, just
Oh!
over the mountains.
Tina's like, my
Promoting
calendars are so strong
exercise.
now.
Ah. No, I think though, aren't we supposed to be in the 30s by this film?
I think so.
I
I've
feel like I
lost
read
track
that
of the
somewhere.
timeline, truly.
Because the last 2 were in 1927. So then this one, I feel like
It
I
has
read
to take
somewhere
place.
a few years past.
There has to be a time lapse where on the screen it says 5 years later.
Yeah.
I feel like
So then, do we think we're gonna?
1937.
Do you think we're gonna hear anything more about this blood pact in this
Yeah,
film
I
either?
think
Yeah.
I think it will be
I
the
hope
center
so.
of the
Well,
storyline.
Newt has it, so he's going to meet up with Dumbledore because Dumbledore doesn't do anything. And he's going to be
Mhm.
like, hey, I have this. What is this shiny thing? What is it? And then Dumbledore's going to be like, Newt. He's going to say some metaphor that's not a clear answer. And
Yeah.
he will go somewhere.
So I think that
Dumbledore.
we will the blood pact will connect it what we need to know about Dumbledore's past and what we need to know about Aurelius, because I think the blood pact is the reason of Ariana's death. It's what made the mess with the spells going everywhere and hitting Ariana. So I think that's the blood pact is the reason why Ariana's dead, and maybe they need to address that in movie 3, and so maybe it will be the way to connect Ariana's Obscurus to Aurelius Obscurus. So maybe that will be the connection that we will have in this movie, but that's
Yeah.
my theory.
I do think
That
in
makes
one of the
sense.
films, we're going to see that fight.
Yeah.
yeah, for
Because
sure.
I agree with you, Marjo. I've always thought that the blood pact, because it makes it so they can't harm each other, I always assumed that meant during that duel that maybe their spells were aimed at each other, but it had to ricochet because they couldn't actually harm each other.
And so that's why we don't know why that Aurelius Dumbledore exists, because he caught the ricochets in that fight and he blew up into smithereens, and Dumbledore does not talk of it, and Aberforth only tells his goat.
I just died
Solved.
over the fact that Aurelius
Solved.
Dumbledore doesn't exist.
So you know what's something that's interesting that I don't know if we've spoken about it, and I'm gonna apologize now just in case I somehow mispronounce your name. It's in the chat. Joffrey or Jeffrey?
Oh, that's
One of
It's
those.
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey.
Cool. Thanks, guys. And sorry, like I said, he mentioned that Credence doesn't even know that Grindelwald was a fake Graves, you know? Because Credence
He knows that.
Do you think so? Because Credence exploded before Graves was captured.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
he
he
died,
did.
but he didn't die.
Yeah, like he doesn't know any of that. So he's like Credence at least still thinks these are two separate people.
Do you think the
So-
Wisp can't hear?
I don't
maybe the Wisp
know.
was away when it was revealed. So yeah, I agree.
I don't know.
I feel like
Like,
Credence is so like brooding too that even if he was like, if he's like 10 feet away from you, he's just like marinating in his own thoughts so much that even like that close to being someone, he wouldn't even like hear what you said. Like, oh, I was thinking about my
Yeah.
parentage.
And he's just like, Irma isn't my mom.
Exactly.
Oh, I
It's
gotta
just
go
like,
to Hot Topic.
oh, they have so many
It's Wizard
studded
Hot Topic,
wristbands.
Anne.
I gotta go to Wizard Hot Topic.
So don't you think it was on the newspaper after they made Grindelwald's prisoner? That
I don't know.
He
Do
was
you
like
think
on the
that's something?
lam.
Do you think
in
that's something
Europe.
they would have like announced in a way, or is that something that they would have been so embarrassed that they would have tried to keep it hush?
And does Credence know how to get a magical newspaper too? Because you have to think he's lived with muggles his entire life and he's just finding out that he's like legit magical.
Yeah,
Like,
he's
for
joining
sure.
a magical
spells.
circus, so he's surrounded by magical people.
And then
Yeah,
by the
presumably
time-
one of them has a magical Parisian newspaper
Yeah,
subscription.
valid
But
point.
does he speak French? Well, can he read French?
But also, by the
Ooh.
time he even got the newspaper, would it have been old news?
That's true.
Because you got to think he's got to gather all of his cells back together and form himself because he just exploded to smithereens. So that takes you have a lot of cells in your body. It takes a long time.
But he's
We see that
but you
on the-
regenerate cells, and this is going to get very sciencey. But I was like, maybe he's just like regenerating like an embryo.
That would take even
see-
longer.
Oh,
I
that's
don't
how he
know
turns
how-
into
We don't know
Fox.
obscurial.
He just regenerates and he screws it up. He's like, I'm a bird now.
So ultimately, we know nothing.
Aha!
Actually, we have
Uh,
a scene of him taking form again in the extended version of the movie. It was supposed to be the opening scene where we see Credence
Oh, okay, yeah.
again. So yeah, it was not that hard.
And he
So
could have
if-
learned.
But
If so much of this film is going to be centered on Dumbledore, do you think we'll even see Queenie and Grindelwald at all?
oh,
I
yeah.
hope so.
I think
feel
we'll
like
see
we will.
Grindelwald and maybe a little bit of Queenie, and I think she'll be in the back just drinking the tea and then being like, no, I don't need it. But then like she still like has already drinking some of the tea.
Hmm.
And
I feel like with both Queenie and Credence, we're really just going to kind of see them like as being on Grindelwald's side, like kind of just in the background, maybe carrying out different acts or whatever. But I don't think we're going to get any sort of resolutions with their storylines.
no.
Which is very frustrating because I feel like those are the two like biggest like aha like we got you moments out of the last film, and the fact that we're not. I feel too that we're not going to get that resolution going into the next film in any capacity is definitely frustrating.
Yeah, do we think this is going to hurt the series, the fact that they're going to play the long game in telling this story? Because so many people that are upset with Crimes of Grindelwald, they're upset for their own reasons with the film, but I feel like a large part of it is that last 5 minutes of information and just, you have no idea what's going on, and it just feels like a bunch of nonsense, and maybe it is, but we don't know for sure because we still have 3 films to play out. So if we go another full 2 hours, 30 minutes, whatever the runtime ends up being, without getting any of that information, is it going to be just as frustrating? Or
But it's another middle movie because it's
I
the
know.
third movie of a 5-movie saga. So
it's hard.
everything shouldn't be answered because there'll be 2
Right.
more movies.
I
And
agree.
Right.
that's
But
why
it's-
I like
Yeah.
Crimes of Grindelwald, because I wasn't expecting to have
Yeah.
all the answers, because with the Potter films, we knew what was happening as
Right.
the movies were coming out, especially once Deathly Hallows was published. we knew the entire
full scheme.
story.
Yeah.
Whereas this is another Wizarding World film franchise, and the only thing we have is a book about beasts.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
has
I
nothing
And
to
if
do
we are
with it.
thinking about this cycle of 5 movies, movie 3 is the center. So it's the Goblet of Fire of the.
Mhm.
No one's gonna
Right.
get a haircut.
Nope.
Oh my God! Please.
Would actually be on par for this time, considering a quarantine. Would make sense
we
if
know
no one
that-
had haircuts.
We know that Jude Law has a glorious beard.
Oh,
so.
he does.
Ah,
It's
yes.
luxurious.
If any of those,
Catherine's hair is longer.
if any of those
See,
cast
no
members
haircut.
have Goblet of
No
Fire hair,
haircut.
you can count me out of this fandom. I'm gone. Goodbye.
But I think in movie 3, we need something very big, like the rebirth of Voldemort in Goblet of Fire. A turning point. We need
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
something.
Because you can't answer all the questions in the third movie, but you also can't just keep asking new questions and not giving new answers at any point.
Yeah.
Like,
We need a big
even if we
key.
only get 1 or 2 things resolved in this movie, I feel like that'll be satisfying enough for people to continue to be invested in the series.
So this is our plea to the fandom.
WB.
Yeah.
Well, WB, the fandom, you just gotta, if we're gonna get all 5, you gotta hold out for all 5, and then we can go back and really nitpick as to what, was ridiculous and what was unnecessary.
Well, so much of Crimes of Grindelwald will make sense come
Yes.
Yeah.
FB5.
Yes.
After you see it, you'll be like, oh, that's why they did this in this. That's why they went to the bird market.
I almost
all
wonder if FB2 will become anyone's favorite at the end of this.
I like it
because
more than
it'll be,
FB1.
Same.
I
No,
think
I
too,
prefer-
because I feel like I'm down with things being very like transitional middle movie at this point. Like I think I would prefer that because I do want the setup and I want it done thoroughly. But I wonder if because of the reception with Crimes of Grindelwald, with so many people upset with that I wonder if they're changing the way that they're doing it, and if we will get more smaller story arcs maybe in 3, like not like the big answers, but maybe they'll kind of tie up something small to try and give people a bit of a conclusion.
Well, and the thing is, they introduced so many characters in the second movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
They really can't afford to introduce another 12 characters to this movie that already has 7,000 characters.
Yeah,
Please no.
especially since like we had that final scene at Hogwarts and Kama's there and Nagini's there, like the whole gang's there, and like okay, I guess they're all our core friends now. They're all our heroes. So I feel like if they keep introducing so many more characters, and the Newt just keeps showing up at Hogwarts at the end of each movie with a bigger and bigger squad, eventually it's.
It's
I will take-
Dumbledore's army.
I will take 2 more people. One is Eulalie Hicks, and then one can be a brand new, but that's enough. I don't want anybody else new after 3.
After that, Newt squad is cut off.
It's done.
Well, we also know that Bunty is going to get more airtime.
Okay, so that's it. We're done. No new people.
Yeah.
No new friends.
According
new
to
friends.
Victoria Yeats. So,
Well,
yeah.
We're actually almost out of time, and I feel like we need to talk about the thing that we love so much about this fandom, which is the beasts.
Yeah.
So what if we just
Yeah.
run down, we put together like a little list of some potential Brazilian beasts we might meet, if that is really where we end up like we think we're supposed to.
So we might be wrong, and we apologize if you listen to this in like 2024 when
We never
finally
went to
get
Brazil.
Fantastic Beasts 3.
Yeah, let's run through these, and then maybe we can have everyone that's listening, maybe they can pick one that they're really interested in, and it can be the next beast that we cover on a
Oh
my God.
Case.
thank you
Yeah.
words
There we go.
like our
Good
next
idea.
new case.
Yeah, so I did some research into what beasts are in Brazil, and I also had the question of, are we going to meet the parent of the boa constrictor that Harry feeds in the Sorcerer's Stone? I don't know. We could.
I mean, possibly that would be
There'll
that
probably
would be
be
like
a,
their
a snake just in the background going slither, going.
yeah.
Don't
Thanks,
put me in a
Vigo.
case.
We'll be like, there it is.
Yeah.
in like the upper left
Grandma.
corner for like a second.
Yeah,
Maybe
and
if
that's
you've
your
got, like, a
cash
little-
grab.
UK like pennant that says "I love the London Zoo."
Yeah.
Yes.
Real
He
cute.
has like a little t-shirt.
Yeah. So the other beasts that we had from Brazil, we had fire slugs, which are actually noted to be studied by Newt. We had the nogtail, which is kind of like a pig almost in a way. We had the dug bog, which resembles a piece of dead wood while stationary. So, that's actually
Very
a 3X,
exciting.
which is
It
interesting.
reminds me of like a crocodile.
Yeah, I think, it's a
Wow.
it's a 3X rated beast. So it's not just like a big old limp stick of wood. It's something that it's going to
It's for
That'll mess you up.
experienced handlers.
Yes, it could hurt you. And then we have the Capiora, which is what Rex said, which is a small furry spirit being who's very mischievous. And that one has no class. And then we have I'm going to pronounce this wrong again, and then Rex can correct me, Curapira.
Oh, I don't know how to say that one.
It's the
I think it's
Curapira,
Kurapira.
which is a
Igor.
red-haired. It's a red-haired forest-dwelling dwarf that is in Brazil.
Okay.
So those
Snow
are
White shout out.
Pew, pew, pew. So those are really the only ones that I could find that are actually said to live in Brazil. But like I said earlier, we might get like a whole rainforest of creatures potentially, which I would love and which would be killer. But I don't know. And we all know that we have to pop on over to the rainforest now from Rio to the rainforest. So just a quick hop, skip, and an apparate away.
I like this. I like this tale of the pink river dolphin, where the dolphin turns into a woman to lure people to their death. I like that one a lot. That would be fun. Probably won't get it, but I just think that's fun.
Which, side note, when I was like 12, there was this book series called Dolphin Diaries, and I was obsessed with them and obsessed with dolphins, and the best book in that series had the pink dolphins. So.
I did a report in 7th grade on the animal classification of the pink dolphin.
Or Bodos, as they are known.
Patreon exclusive content. It's Rex recreating his report on pink dolphins.
Yeah, I don't
Amy
have
does
that
dramatic
anymore.
readings of her pink dolphin books.
Yes.
Okay, so everyone in the chat, let us know. What do you think? Fire slug, nogtail, dug bog, Rex.
Kayapora.
Thank you. The other one.
Kurapira.
Kurapira, I think.
Yeah. Anyone interested in learning more about one of those in the next new case? Oh, we got one for fire slug.
Oh,
I was
gonna say,
big fan of
good
fire
luck.
slugs.
Good luck spelling these.
Everybody
Two votes for fire.
Team Fire Slug, except for Jennifer. She's hashtag Team Nogtail.
All right.
I'm
The
behind anything that's
unpronounceable one.
fire.
Which
Okay,
one? There's two.
Great.
I think the second one that Rex didn't know how to say either. It
So
didn't
it sounds
pass the
like we're
Rex
just
test.
going to have to cover them all, unfortunately.
More work for
no.
us then.
Yeah. Good thing we have plenty of time till this next film.
Yeah, we have until
goodness.
2024.
Stop it. I mean, I also think it's just insane that they are still going to be able to get this film out
Those
in
2
November.
days before the shutdown.
They got the whole thing
gonna-
filmed.
It's just in post-production now.
I
So
feel
we
like
only
that
have-
date's going to get pushed back. I think they
We only
just
have 2
don't
minutes
know.
left, guys.
All right, let's
So much
go
time to
ahead and wrap this up.
Well,
Thank
I
you.
just want to say 2
Please.
people said that they wanted just a new case episode, which is fun. It could be an
We
interesting
can do
idea.
that.
That could be totally awesome. All right.
That would be fun.
So, thank you all for tuning in to our special live episode. To those of you in the chat, we love you. Thanks for hanging out. In the meantime, if you want more Beastie content, you can find us on Twitter and Instagram at SpeakBeasty. We're on Facebook at facebook.com/SpeakBeasty. Tumblr at speakbeastypodcast.tumblr.com. And you can support the show on Patreon at patreon.com/SpeakBeasty. Let's go ahead and wrap it up. Go ahead. Take it away, Rex.
I'm Rex.
I'm Marjolaine.
I'm Anne.
I'm Julianna.
I'm Lizzie.
I'm Amy.
Case.
Peace.
Whoa. Oh, sorry. I thought we were all saying it together.
Yay.
Yay, we finished before they cut us off. I was worried about that for a second.
Good job, Beasties.
Yay.
Organization is our strong suit.
This does not happen very often. We have a lot of great ideas that obviously we won't really get to go into in full depth here. So definitely check out the, next upcoming episodes and everything. It's great fodder for us to just bleed into the next, into the next content.
And thank you, Amber, for joining us.
Yeah.
Thank you, RoberCon, for
Thank
having
you.
us.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much. It was really fun.